Everyone, this is continuation of chapter 3 machines, and in this video we are going to talk about levers. If you haven't checked part 1, please check it in the link. The link will be provided to you in the description box as well as in the end of the video. This is part 2 and part 3 will also be coming, and in that part we will be covering pulleys. So let us start. Now you might have seen all these things in your house, if not all, at least a few. I am not going to tell you anything about this because I will ask you a few questions based on this after this video. Now you might have seen this, a tin can or a paint can, you can say. If you want to open the lid, it is very difficult to open this lid by your hands. So you will use some tools like this tool, or you can use a spoon also to open the lid, or you can use a screwdriver or any equipment, small equipment to open the lid, and the lid will be opened. We use scissor to cut paper. If I ask you to tear this paper, it is very easy to tear it. But if I give you a cloth and ask you to tear it, if it is a thin cloth, you might be able to, but if it is a thick cloth, you might not be able to tear it with your hands. You need a scissor for that, isn't it? So all these things, whether it is a nutcracker or a scissor or a bottle opener, all these things are called levers. Okay. So lever is basically a straight or a bent rod or a bar which is capable of rotating about a fixed axis, and that fixed axis is called fulcrum. Okay. So it is a straight or a bent bar which can rotate about a fixed axis or fixed point. That point is fulcrum. It is used to overcome a load. It is used to lift a load or overcome a load by applying effort at a convenient or at a particular point or in a particular direction. The distance between the fulcrum and load is called load arm, and the distance between fulcrum and effort is called effort arm. All the distances, the distance of load or the distance of effort is taken from the fulcrum. Okay. Now, principle of lever. What is the principle on which a lever works? A lever works on the principle of moments. You might have studied in chapter 1, force. What is principle of moments? The principle of moments says that anti-clockwise moments, that means anti-clockwise turning effects, is equal to clockwise moments or clockwise turning effect in equilibrium. So if this rod is in equilibrium, that means the forces applied on either side of the fulcrum should balance it, and the clockwise moment produced and anti-clockwise moment produced should be equal. And the two forces on either side of the fulcrum are load and effort. So load produces anti-clockwise moment and effort produces clockwise moment. Simplified diagram is this. So it works on a principle of, a lever works on principle of moments. That means anti-clockwise moment is equal to clockwise moments. That means load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. Now rearrange the terms, take effort on left hand side and load arm on right hand side. You will get load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. But what is load upon effort? Load upon effort is mechanical advantage of a machine. So in this kind of machine, that means for a lever is a kind of simple machine. So for a lever, the mechanical advantage of a lever is effort arm upon load arm. Remember this formula because you will be doing numericals based on this formula. So mechanical advantage of lever is equal to effort arm upon load arm. Now classification of lever. If in a lever you know that there are three things, one is fulcrum, one is load, one is effort. If fulcrum is in between load and effort, anywhere in between load and effort, then this kind of lever is called class 1 lever. Okay. Now in class 1 lever, the fulcrum is in between load and effort. It can be either exactly at the center or it can be towards the load. Fulcrum can be towards the load or fulcrum can be towards the effort, but it will remain in between load and effort. Now in class lever, based on the position of fulcrum, if fulcrum is exactly in between load and effort, that means load arm is equal to effort arm. And you know that mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. If both are equal, then mechanical advantage will be equal to 1. But if fulcrum is towards the load, that means effort arm is more, then the mechanical advantage will be more than 1. And if fulcrum is towards the effort, that means effort arm is smaller, effort arm is less than load arm, then in this case mechanical advantage will be less than 1. Now class 2 lever. In class 2 lever, the load is in between effort and fulcrum. Okay, so wherever it is placed in between, it will remain in between effort and fulcrum. So effort arm will always be greater than load arm. So mechanical advantage will be greater than 1, and this lever acts as force multiplier. Okay. Now in class 3 lever, effort is in between load and fulcrum. So wherever you move it in between, it will remain in between load and fulcrum only. That means effort arm will always be smaller than load arm. That means mechanical advantage of this kind of lever is always less than 1, and it acts as speed multiplier. Okay. So these are the three types of levers: class 1, class 2 and class 3 lever. Class 1 lever can act as force multiplier and speed multiplier. Class 2 levers always act as force multiplier because effort arm is always greater than 1. And class 3 levers always act as speed multipliers. So remember this: class 1 fulcrum in between other two, class 2 load in between the other two, and class 3 effort in between the other two. So remember FLEE. Now examples, these are the examples of class 1 lever. In all these, fulcrum, you can find fulcrum in between load and effort. These are the examples of class 2 lever: bottle opener, nutcracker or lemon squeezer or wheelbarrow. In all these you can find load in between fulcrum and effort. In class 3 levers, these are the class 3 levers, you can see that the effort is in between load and effort. The effort is in between load and fulcrum. But in human arm, you will think that fulcrum is in between. It is not like that. The effort is applied. Effort, if you lift anything in your palm, the effort is applied from the forearm to the shoulder. That means this picture will give you clarity. Effort is applied from this point, okay, in upward direction. So that is why it is class 3 lever. In sugar tongs, these are the positions of load, effort and fulcrum. Now the question time. Now in these pictures, it might be clear for you that which class of lever it belongs. Now you pause the video and find out, and uh, tell me your answer, and I will give you in a short while. So pause the video and check whether your answer is correct or not. Yes, I'm sure your answer will be correct. Now, I hope you have understood the video. I hope you have understood the concept of lever. If you haven't checked the first part, please check the first part. And in the second part, I will talk about pulleys. I will discuss about pulleys. Subscribe my channel, and thank you. Take care.